Okay, excited to play another Big Ten game. First one at home against a really good Maryland team. Very talented, well coached. A lot of good players, a lot of good athletes. Offensively, quarterback's playing really well, completing 75% of his passes. Dynamic receiving core. Number 10, Felton, Prather. Number 5, the tight end, 0. Really good players. Good running backs, offensive line. A little bit young but talented, big. Defensive line loaded. Play a lot of guys, be a big challenge. Linebacker. Secondary is a mix of youth and experience, so they got a lot of talent. They're a good football team. They're very well coached. It'll be a tremendous challenge.
Hey, Coach. I would ask you about Mario Landino. He obviously got some playing time early on. I know maybe some of it necessity because of the depth there. But what did you guys see of him when you're at JMU? What do you like about him so far as a player since he's been here?
Yeah, he had a nice frame, good athleticism, can run, good twitch. He's got a motor, very coachable, learns quickly, kind of a tenacious type of guy, really enjoys the process. He's got a nice future.
Curt, excuse me, Curt. Maryland's quarterback Billy Edwards Jr. He's been in their program for a while. He's finally getting a chance to play. What have you seen from him on film, and what's helped make him as efficient as he's been this year?
Yeah, I mean, I've known Billy Edwards for a while. He was my first year at JMU. He was the guy we had targeted. He had sat in my office with his dad a couple times. Started out at Wake Forest, then transferred to Maryland. And he can make all the throws. He's got a lot of snaps under his belt. They'll also run him, and obviously he's a threat when he gets out of the pocket as well, when he drops back and escapes the pocket. So he's a very competitive guy with good arm strength and good leader, and they like him, and I can see why.
Yeah, do you know Mike Loxley at all? I mean, do you guys face each other as assistants back when he was when you were at NC State? Just curious if you guys have known each other across.
Yeah, I mean, we know each other a little bit. We haven't really spent a lot of time together back at State. He was at Maryland and at Florida. Worked with Doc Holliday, a guy I'd worked with a long time down at Florida for Urban. Of course, he was at Alabama after I was there. He's had a tremendous career. He's done a great job at Maryland.
You guys, I think, I want to say second in the country in red zone attempts and red zone scores, or red zone touchdowns, rather. I think both. Just from your perspective, what have been the keys to being as efficient as you guys have been when you've gotten into those scoring situations? Well,
I mean, we've run the ball well down there and thrown it well. Quarterback's played real good in the past game. We've had some open guys. He's found them. We've separated. So, and we have been down there a lot, like you said. But, I don't think we've probably played the most difficult schedule up to this point. I'm not trying to shortchange anybody we've played. The tests are going to become tougher week in, week out. Hopefully we'll have the same number of opportunities and success in the future. But, touchdowns are critical down there.
Yeah, Curt, you were saying on Saturday after the game that you've been pleased, I guess, with the progress Curtis has made since you started playing games. I guess now, especially after you've been able to watch the tape from Saturday, I guess, are you able to expand on that a little bit? Just what progress, what have you seen him specifically been able to improve on since the season started?
Well, he's in command. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's seeing the field. He's making the throws. When the pattern breaks down, he's running for yards, touchdowns, first downs. The guys have a lot of confidence in him. You can really see it all coming together. And I thought as the game went on, he really was sharp. We scored 35 straight points. We took him out with time left in the third quarter. We probably could have kept rolling. But he's playing very well right now.
Pete and Joe. Curt, excuse me. When you face an offense that has this much firepower, do you find that maybe you spend a little more time with the defense in terms of, preparations than maybe you normally would?
Yeah, I always watch all three phases. I've watched all of Maryland's games, obviously put a lot of time in the off season into Maryland. Once the week starts, I'm at the point now where I kind of let Bryant go a little bit. I don't look over his shoulder. There was a time I used to watch defensive practice, maybe make a few notes and call the staff in. Have not done that this year. Him and I did meet Sunday after the game, about a few things defensively. But I have total confidence in him and the defensive staff that, they're going to put a great plan together, and which gives us the best chance of being successful.
On the same topic with defense, how important is the defensive line's performance with the talent that Maryland has on the outside?
Well, I think no matter who you play, it all starts up front and being able to stop the run and pressure the quarterback. If you can put pressure on the quarterback, that's less time that you have to cover, in the defensive backfield and at linebacker. So, I don't think we played our best game this past week. I just didn't think the energy level was there. We weren't swarming the football like we've done in the past. I mean, I didn't see us really swarm the football until that 4th and 1 stop in the second half. So we're capable of playing better, and we're going to need to play better.
Coach, I wanted to ask about wide receiver Donovan McCauley. Is he back to 100%, and what do you need to see from him to be able to earn more consistent snaps?
Yeah, he, missed time. And, when you miss significant time in the season, sometimes it can be hard to catch up. But, he's getting closer. Tried to give him the ball a few times in the fourth quarter, came close, didn't quite work out. So looking forward to him getting back in the swing of things.
Curt, you talked about the receiving core of Maryland, but what does Maryland bring challenge-wise that maybe you haven't seen yet on both sides of the ball that you guys will have to face this week?
Well, I mean, this is going to be the stoutest defensive line we've gone against. They're really big inside, and they got good players on the outside too. And if you go 2 tight ends, they're going to bring 5 defensive linemen in, and they're very aggressive. It's also going to be the best receiving core we've seen up to this point. Probably the best quarterback we've seen up to this point. So it's the best football team we've seen up to this point. And you guys remember the game last year. It wasn't much of a game. So I'm sure they're going to come in here pretty confident, and they got a lot of the same guys. So looking forward to playing.
Yeah, what are some ways you've seen the offensive line kind of progress from the start of the season, and then kind of with that, I know like Tyler Stevens has kind of been in some heavier packages the last few weeks. What do you kind of envision for his role with that group?
Well, I think we've done a lot better job protecting the quarterback since the opening game, and which has been a key to the passing game. And I think those guys are really playing well. They're tough, hard-nosed guys. Tyler Stevens, we had to bump him out, get some tight end reps because of James Bomba's injury. So we'll see how it shakes out this week, and we got to keep progressing and getting better.
I want to say you all as a staff have started 4-0 the last 4 or so years. When you're in that process of trying to maintain that energy, maintain that momentum, what have you maybe learned about the keys within that?
Well, we're used to being successful, this staff that I brought in, the players that are here. And, when you win, it's about maintaining your edge and avoiding complacency and not having the warm fuzzies and, not taking the rat poison, right? Eliminating the noise and the clutter, focusing on what's going to help you get to the point where you can perform to the best of your ability on Saturday, the preparation part, physical and mental preparation. So we have a mature team. I'm confident that those guys will be on point this week in practice and that we'll have a good week.
You mentioned the rat poison, but how much is a balance? Because you also mentioned confidence, and Curtis is playing with confidence. It seems like both sides of the ball are playing confidence. And how important is that element to kind of keeping and sustaining momentum, and you want to kind of build on that?
Well, success leads to confidence, which leads to success. And so they go hand in hand. And but you still have to put the work in during the week, because everything we do isn't fun. You got to pay the price in terms of your commitment level. Make some choices and decisions, good ones, and sacrifices. So, but you know, we should be a confident football team right now, but we got to put the work in.
Ken up top and we'll wrap this up.
Defensively, you've talked about avoiding the warm and fuzzies and being able to just change the way this team plays since you got here. What's going to be the key to just maintaining that level week after week after week and making sure that some of the guys maybe that have been here before that were part of that Maryland game that wasn't that competitive last year, they don't backslide?
Well, I think it's everybody. You get better, you get worse. We don't want to maintain the level. We want to improve the level. In everything we're doing, we want to improve. And because nobody is in a position in college football where they afford to go backwards. So you got to keep striving. And this is a really good football team coming in here, and we're going to have to play our best game. But I'll be shocked if our guys don't understand that.
Seth, last one up top.
Yeah, Curt, you were already without McCormick, and then you had Quintero limp off during the game on Saturday. I guess, are there updates on either of them, and how do you feel like Quinn Warren handled the kickoff duties the rest of the way?
I thought he did a really good job. He's done a nice job in practice. You know, he's taken advantage of his opportunity. And those other guys are sort of day-to-day, week-to-week, and we'll see what happens this week.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.